157.
That sounds about right.
Number.
Yeah. Let's see. 157. Welcome to the One Take Podcast, episode 157. We are joined by Mo, Miss Pizzerino from What We Watch for the 75th episode, I believe.
Right.
No.
Can never get enough.
Exactly.
No such thing as too much, Mo.
Mo, how you doing? It's been a minute.
I'm doing great. I was going to say 75th episode, but the 74th one was like a good while ago. So yeah, I'm happy to be here.
I think it's been so long that they came out with an actual Squid Game show on Netflix.
And we did talk about Squid Game together. I think we had our own game show, and they just kind of like took it and made it worse. So I don't know.
Yeah. Absolutely. So this week we are reviewing another Hulu movie because they're in the midst of what is now a finalized writer's strike. They were just dropping all the
Thank
stuff
God.
Free.
We are so fucking back.
We should start with that. The actors still striking, but that seems to be inevitable that will be done. But that's just some light news off the top. This week we are reviewing No One Will Save You from Hulu. And I believe Fox Searchlight as well, as they continue to just drop all the Fox movies that Disney didn't want to put on Disney Plus yet on Hulu.
This feels like a Fox Searchlight movie. I did not know that, but when you said that, it clicked into my brain that it literally feels like a Fox Searchlight movie.
Yeah.
Also, Hulu has Caitlin Deaver in a 360 deal. Apparently, like they're just like keeping all her shit.
Yeah, No One Will Save You, 2023 movie, PG-13, hour, 33 minutes long, 6.4 right now on IMDb. An exiled, anxiety-ridden homebody must battle an alien who's found its way into her home. Written and directed by Brian Duffield, who has done some interesting projects. You may not know that name, but he has written Love and Monsters, that underwater movie that came out during the pandemic with Kristen Stewart, The Babysitter for Netflix, and also developed the Skull Island TV series. So interesting writer, and wrote Divergent. So this is his first directorial debut.
I was gonna say I have not seen any of those films, but I have seen Divergent. So
actually,
I was gonna say this dude sounds like a career minor leaguer.
Yeah, sorry,
he's AAA.
He has been in the Netflix studio system, if you will, I guess. This isn't his directorial debut. He made a movie called Spontaneous with Catherine Langford and Charlie Plummer, where teenagers spontaneously combust and explode and die. So they all have to live with the fact of knowing that. So that's his directorial debut. This is
his second. This is his second directorial.
This is his second directorial effort. Yes,
that's pretty impressive.
Stars Caitlin Deaver and no one else. That feels reductive, but it has
that's
no one you would really. It kind of is true. If it has nobody you would really know, a guy, Zach Duhame maybe has the other big role as the mailman. Geraldine Singer as Miss Collins, and Dane Rhodes as police chief Collins.
Who played the aliens? Because they stole the show. Whoever those physical body movements, they stole the show.
This made no money because Hulu. So, I guess they'll juice the numbers and say that 80,000 billion people watch this movie, but who's to say? And as far as review scores go, Rotten Tomatoes is fake. 80% on Rotten Tomatoes from critics, 58% audience score. So
R rating, right? This movie's rated R, right?
PG-13.
Okay. Yes, that makes much more sense.
58% from the audience. Mo, we always start with our guest. No. What did you think?
Give it a we're not rating it yet, right? Because I'm like,
you can. No, go ahead.
No,
talk about it, then grade it.
Not ready. 58% is interesting. That's about 58% of the time while I watched this movie, I was like, what is happening? So I think fair thing. My feelings overall were, just again, I have a very special place in my heart. I have to say this on the show, and since we're live too, the writer's strike is over. We still got a lot to do. It's part of the battle, but we're not going to not celebrate our wins in these moments. Shout out to the SAG-AFTRA strong and the actors. Make sure that they get everything that they want as well, so that we can all collaborate on these films, such as No One Will Save You. This felt like the director, Brian, wanted to have a fucking good time. We're allowed to cuss.
Yeah. How dare you? Wait, no.
And I think he just had a really good time. I mean, for me, the decision to have as very little dialogue, if not no dialogue, for all intents and purposes, like, it was very interesting. I think we could have used some dialogue, but I don't want to come off the bat being so critical. I think, and I told Cheech this. I said, what I feel like is we got a director's cut. And usually directors cut a la, Snyder, or like, 15 hours. But I think we got it felt like a director's cut. It felt like we weren't really sure what we wanted to do. And so we did everything. And honestly, I'm not too mad about that. Honestly, we had a good time. I really, really like the idea of staying with one person. Some of my favorite films, like Lost, I think it's called Lost, or Nowhere to Be Found, or Lost at Sea, or something, with Robert Redford. It's him on a boat the entire movie.
All is lost, yeah.
All is lost. Thank
All
you.
is lost. Yep.
Great movie. Castaway, obviously. Great movies where the actor just gets to go off by themselves. I'm glad we got to watch this. What is it? Dever, right?
Caitlin Dever.
Caitlin Dever go off in a horror house that Jordan Peele created, I guess. Because I'm like, this is Nope. But yeah,
And M. Night Shyamalan created.
Unlimited short review. It was fun.
Do you have a letter grade? Are you willing to go that far yet?
Are we
Or do
doing
you not
that?
want to say it yet?
No, I have to go last on my letter grade.
Okay. That's fair.
Sure. Dex, I want to go with you because you immediately text us, and I think I watched this before you and kind of managed your expectations about, like, this is immediate, like, nightmare fuel movie for the first
sure.
15 minutes. And then, like, as the night progressed into like 1 a.m., I was like, okay, what the fuck like happened?
Yeah,
And
what
you
is going
texted
on?
the exact same thing. So go
Yeah.
ahead, man.
Literally sitting watching this movie for the first like 15, 20 minutes. I was just sitting in my bed by myself being like, oh, hell no, like multiple times. Like, as the first home invasion that starts this movie is happening, like, just so fucking creepy and weird, and like not super scary, but just like very tense, and like, nope, this is about to go bad. No, don't do that. And that's what you come to horror movies for, is like, you can see it coming, they can't see it coming, and you're just like, oh fuck. Like, and then they start trying to make points with the aliens and the scary shit that's happening, and they did not have a point to make that I can really tell. Like, we got into some grief, some societal justice, I guess, some like outcast shit, and it just wasn't connecting. It just wasn't all curling over.
Did you feel like it was creepy because of the sound design? Because that was immaculate.
Yeah,
Oh
the
my
sound
God.
design was really
It was
good.
so good.
The
Man,
score
that was
is really good.
What is
Yeah.
happening? That's scary. The sounds were crazy.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know. I thought it was the 10-foot tall alien in the house, but like
That
other
too.
than that-
I mean, honestly, like, every movie Alien, after you see it the first time, all of them are kind of like, that looks kind of dumb. Like, like,
right. Well, I'll talk about that a little bit, but yeah.
every movie Alien that you see, you end up being like, all right, that looks kind of stupid. Like,
Which is why I appreciate that they didn't like take too long to show it. Just show it. We know what it's gonna look like.
yeah, we know it's stupid.
We
It's
know
the,
it's stupid.
the fucking Mexican
Big eyes.
little like
Mexican
pinata
alien
thing that they show. Like,
it looked just like the Mexican alien.
But yeah, I really like the choice of it is a choice I haven't ever seen before in a movie, where like the main character can talk, they just don't. Usually, like, if a character is silent, it's like, oh, they're deaf, they've never heard language before, or like they were in an accident or something. But like, she totally can talk, she's fine. She just never does talk, which I thought was interesting and cool. And Caitlin Dever did a really good job, like, just being scared, and you don't need like to hear a narrator or like her inner monologue or hear her like say what she's thinking or whatever. You can just kind of see it, and I thought that was really cool. But like I said, once they start trying to make a point, they didn't have a point to make. So I can only love it so much. I'd give it, I think last night I said like a B, but I'm down to like a C plus. Like the more I think about it, just because like what was that? What were we doing? But I enjoyed it, and it's like a tight 90 minutes. You know, you can't really do too much wrong in a tight 90 minutes. It's pretty scary for the first half hour. Like, so yeah, I give it like a C plus.
Tej, go ahead, man.
I enjoyed this movie. First of all, I did not think that the aliens looked stupid. I thought they looked cool as shit. I really every time the aliens were on screen, I was having a good time. Like point blank period. With no matter what the aliens were doing, I'm trying to ascertain their like what are they here for. The aliens are doing a lot of talking and communicating, not obviously in English, but the aliens are saying much more stuff than our main character, who says basically nothing. And I was having a good time when the aliens were on the screen, and I love the way that they kind of built up the suspense of the alien being in your house. And it's like that stuff is so visceral and so good. The sound design, like Mo said, is fucking phenomenal. Hearing the aliens walking around that house I was on the edge of my seat. Like I watched it last night. I was just like, holy shit, that would be so scary. There are multiple points where I was just like legitimately scared. So there are moments of fun in the movie. And I also like the decision not to have much dialogue in the movie, but I feel like our not having any dialogue has to serve the plot. And for the most part, when she's in the house by herself, it makes perfect sense that she's not speaking to anyone. That makes perfect sense. Like the aliens are fucking with the lines of communication, so she can't talk on the phone. Okay, cool. No dialogue needed. But there's a point in the middle of this movie where she goes into town and she's just like had a close encounter with an alien, and then it felt like we are going out of our way to make our movie stick to the original premise of not having dialogue, and it didn't make sense. It just didn't work. Like her going into town and not saying anything to anyone just quite literally didn't work. And that was the first point in the movie where I was like, all right, that was a decision by the director that he decided this wasn't going to be a movie where we're going to talk to people because she's an outcast anyway. So why do we need her voice? But if you just had a close encounter with an alien, I'm going to be screaming that shit into town.
I'm saying something.
I'm saying
I got it in my house.
Bro.
It's under a blanket, I swear.
I'll show you.
Come look at this shit.
Show you. Come look at this shit, guys.
Right now. I'm not kidding.
So that part really, really didn't work for me. And then, like Dex said, and like Mo kind of alluded to, from there, you start to ask a lot of questions. Like, okay, there's an alien in her house at first, and she's in her house. There's not a lot of questions, right? We know what's happening. The aliens are in her house. She's scared as shit, and she's trying to survive. Makes perfect sense. I have no questions. Every point after that in this movie, I started having so many questions, and only some of them got answered. The way that, Royden says on this podcast all the time, that film ended 10 times. And half the time he says that, I'm like, no, it didn't. It made perfect sense. This movie legitimately ended 10 times. Yeah. There were 7 or 8 times where they framed Caitlin Dever, who did a phenomenal job acting, by the way. I thought she was great. They framed her perfectly in a shot that looked amazing. And I'm like, yes, this is our ending shot. She's perfectly framed. The colors are cool. She's making a cool facial expression. End scene. And it was like, no, we still have 15 more minutes. It felt like they did not know how to end this movie. I have way more questions about what happened in this film than I should, but I generally had a good time. I think I would give it a B. Like I said, the sound design is great. Caitlin Dever is great. And for this to be this guy's second directorial movie, there's some extremely cool shots in this film. Some extremely cool technology is used. The way that they present the aliens, even when the aliens are not on screen, with using like the little blue beams and the red beams, like that stuff really worked for me. The alien design really worked for me. Caitlin Dever catching bodies all over the place really worked for me. There was some stuff that I really liked about this film. But when it comes to the higher level stuff of like we have a message and we have something that we want to say, and the stuff about trauma and the stuff about how she did her best friend, that stuff just fell flat for me. The only part of that worked was when we actually saw what happened with her and the friend, which I won't spoil for the podcast if you haven't seen the movie. Hopefully, if you're listening to this, you've seen the movie, by the way. I won't spoil that yet, but like the scene where we reveal that worked for me. But every time we tried to connect it to the aliens and the larger plot, it just fell flat. Either I was too stupid to understand it, or it just did not work. Like the connection of that did not work, and it just felt like we needed like another layer of the movie. When really, I didn't need another layer of the movie. I was just cool with a dumb, fun aliens are here and they're pissed off and they're doing shit to humans was fine with me. But that kind of upper layer where we tried to make it like a higher level meaning just really didn't connect for me. I would give it a B-. I would recommend people watch it. I had a lot of fun with it, but there are some real flaws in it. But for this to be someone's directorial second movie they've directed, I'm blown away by that because some of those shots felt like a real, like somebody who has done this for a long time, not just writing stuff, but the way you frame stuff. There are 10 or 15 shots in this movie that literally took my breath away in terms of how you get that shot. And I would like to go back and revisit those shots, but overall, I would give it a B-. There was a lot of good shit in there, but we fell short.
I think you talked me back up to a B-, by the way. Like, so I'm right there with you.
If I may, and that's what I meant by like director's cut. Like it very much felt like what you said, TJ. Like there's so many endings, and we talked about this. Like, okay, end scene at us understanding that grief is a connection. I know you said either you're too stupid, which sometimes you are, but that is not the case. It was just first. The ending was grief, then it was I miss my mother, then it was oh no, more aliens, and then it was but the aliens also have life, culture, meaning, experiments. Then it was like 15 movies at the end. It was like Shape of Water, then it was Chernobyl,
Signs, yep.
Then it was Signs for a second, then it was like then
it was Nope for a little bit.
Yep, it was Nope for a second.
And then it was like, oh, what's the most grieving movie where somebody, regrets killing someone? I don't know. I've seen a million movies. Like,
I mean, it's literally Signs. It's like the death of his wife.
The death of his wife. Yeah, it's literally Signs.
Right. I respect that in the sense of like, that's what the movie is. And I think that's why I'm okay. And I'm going to grade after you, Roy, and I'm sorry. But like, I think that's why I'm okay with it being the way it is because it is a movie about an alien invasion. Why are we looking to scholarly, meditative, subversive?
I totally agree.
Gosh, right? Like hashtag, this is a real. I don't think that was the point. So that's why I think when they tried to make that the point at the end, it was like, wait, we're just having fun here. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it being a Hulu movie, like that I could tight 90 minutes. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I can. That's fine. Like you don't have to be just fucking classic cinema all the time.
Yeah, and then still not hit the mark.
I like everything is a trauma movie now.
No, I agree with you here. That
everything.
Do we really have to do every single movie,
what do
man?
you mean by that? Really?
Everything is therapy. Like, what do we?
Everyone is very sad.
Yeah, I'm there too.
Yeah, we all are very traumatic.
We also are on antidepressant, like we know, but like it is.
Me, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we've seen it before, and we've taken like the horror genre, and this is kind of more of like a thriller, like a.
This is definitely more of a thriller. There's some scary moments, but this is a thriller.
Yeah, it's a home invasion movie, and I think that, or something's not right with the house, sort of thing, and I think that. We've seen this over the past few years where we kind of have gotten less and less genre movies and made it and being able to put your character study into like try to fit it into the horror
genre.
Into the horror movie. And we've seen it from Barbarian to even like the latest like Friday the 13th movies.
Smile.
Or whatever. Yeah, Smile. Like I just think that like I think a lot of it is like trauma dumping into this thing, and he wanted obviously to like how do we deal with that? It doesn't quite land the plane because what you get is like I don't want to spoil the ending, but what you get is sort of a recreation.
Which ending don't you want to spoil? Be
the
specific.
very, very ending.
Oh, you mean when it turned into the last scene from Babylon, like a
Yeah.
musical for Babylon?
Right.
Yeah.
It was 18 movies at the end. I
When-
saw 18 movies. At the end.
I mean,
Don't worry, darling.
La La
Right.
Land. What are we doing? What's happening?
WandaVision.
WandaVision's a very good companion piece to this. To be completely honest with you. And just like WandaVision, it goes off the rails in the last 30 minutes. I just think that like it becomes what it is a very modern retelling of a Twilight Zone episode, and it's just an elongated Twilight Zone episode. And I think if you look at it through that lens, considering like nobody watched the Jordan Peele Twilight Zone, it is the best Twilight Zone that we've gotten since the 1960s Twilight Zone. So I think that like if you look at it through that lens, if you're a fan of that, then you're going to have a really good time. I kind of took it at face value as that. Granted, they wanted to tell you more. They wanted to sell you more than what we actually got. The decision to have it almost be a silent film, silent is the wrong word, but no dialogue.
Yeah.
To have it be that is an interesting choice. I found myself a little irritated with it because I'm a big dumb idiot. My lizard brain was just like, can we yell and scream? And no, well, it's just like anytime something comes around with this, like I am worried so much that people are going to be like, well, you're just too stupid to understand it. And I'm just like, you know what? Maybe.
Might be.
Yeah. And they obviously did that for a reason. And Caitlin Dever does an incredible job. And Dex, you were saying she's almost like season tickets. Like I'm going to watch whatever she's in.
Yeah,
and
she picks a lot of really interesting stuff.
Movie star.
What else has she been in? I don't know if I've seen anything else she's been in, but I was very impressed.
Booksmart.
Booksmart.
Oh, she is in Booksmart. That's right. That's right. Okay,
but even that, she was on that show, like what, Dope Sick, I think it is.
She was in Dope Sick. She was awesome. She was in.
Monique has been telling me to watch Dope Sick for months now.
Yeah,
she was in. She was in that George Clooney movie that came out recently. That was better than it had any right to be.
You mean Paradise?
You mean The Flash?
Chicken to Paradise was very fun. Also, a very easy movie to watch.
She was in
Unbelievable,
which was a
I saw Ticket to Paradise. Who did she play in Ticket to Paradise?
The daughter.
The kid.
She was the daughter.
Oh, okay. I totally, I have seen some of her movies.
She had a really small part. She
wasn't that big of a part of it. I thought you meant The Flash.
Her last Hulu movie was Rosalind, the like Romeo and Juliet remake thing, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Did you give it a score yet?
Not yet. I'm kind of there with you though, because Tej, I'm going to B- because through all of that, despite all of that, the first 15 minutes after the two home invasions, basically, the first 15 minutes,
incredible.
And the middle half of this movie is like it just goes, and you're just like, oh my god, like we're doing a Home Alone, hell yeah, like let's go. I found the comedy in it to actually be really funny too, like her fighting the aliens and just like stabbing it with a broomstick and hitting it in the head with a shelf was just awesome. I just found all of it to be great. I thought
she was cooking them aliens, bro.
Yeah.
She was really cooking. She was catching bodies.
The movie doesn't work if she doesn't, but then I think they got really, generous, gratuitous there with that. It's a conversation, but yeah.
I mean, it became silly, like slapstick at some points, but I just think it was having fun. I gave it a B-. Like if for genre fans, I think you can do a lot worse. And especially if you're watching this is the perfect movie to watch at home. Like, would this have been fun in the theater with some people? But it's an hour and a half. Watch it with your significant other. You'll have a good time. Honestly, B- for me.
Mo, what's your grade?
I'm gonna give it a B+. The reason why I'm giving it a B+ is because this really is. I mean, if you listen to everything and you condense everything that we just said, this is what we watch movies for. We want to have a good time. We want to laugh a little bit. To your point, Roden, we don't need the trauma all the time, although it's just reflective of like the times, and movies are always that in every, decade. But I think, you know, that was just like the last 15 minutes where it was like crazy. In between, we've got questions, we've got aliens. I love that this podcast and you guys on the podcast are talking about it's a home invasion movie, like referencing a Miss Peacherino tweet. I always do this. But like I was in 2020, I was like, damn, you know, we're sitting in our house so much. I was like, damn, I want to watch a home invasion movie. And I watched just like a bunch of home
Gone with
invasion
strangers,
movies, including one called Home Invasion when I'm sitting in my whole house. I'm freaking my brain. I don't know. It's kind of sick. But this is a home invasion movie. And come on, how many amazing top of the line home invasion movies have you seen? Oh my God, balloons.
What just
How did
happened?
that happen?
Balloons?
Did you do that?
I don't know. Did I do that?
I
Did
don't.
Roy do that? I have no idea.
That may
Did
have
you
been
see the
something from
balloons
our
though, or was it
Twitter.
just me?
I saw it. I was
Yeah.
just like, what's happening?
I don't know what happened.
Whose birthday is it? Did I miss something?
Let's
Wow.
celebrate me.
Anyway,
No, but like I don't think, you know, outside of the movies we've said that are classic, Signs, which is I don't know that anybody really called Signs necessarily a home invasion movie first, but it is a home invasion movie in a way, obviously, but it's so much more than that. So I think I don't know. And the sound design, the director's shots of the alien versus her, which is very, very,
Very
cool.
cool.
Very fucking cool. Like it was just like Alien versus her. And Caitlin Dever, I cannot say this enough. She is a star. Like Mia Goth, I'm telling you, like these horror girlies are doing what they need to do. So I give it a B+, and we'll talk.
there was a home invasion movie that I think a lot of people liked recently, and I think it's by the director of Crawl, but I'm not sure where the
I love
Crawl is the greatest movie of all time. I just want to put that out there. I've said that on this podcast
It's so
before.
good.
It is literally the greatest movie of all time.
the person is the woman is deaf, and I can't remember what so she can't, you know, obviously she can't hear what's like going on around her, but I cannot remember.
Are you talking about the one where she's a writer and the guy comes and haunts her, or is it recent? That's an old movie.
It's more recent than that, but I'm not quite sure. I'll find it, but it just reminded me of that a little bit. I think it's just called
That director has the
Also-
goods. That guy is fucking phenomenal.
Would you guys consider Paranormal Activity like great classic movies, and why?
The first one of
That's
those movies
amazing.
scared me more than any film has ever scared me in my entire
I
life.
saw the first one of those movies in a movie theater. I was legitimately horrified.
The
That shit was
moment where the alien did the Paranormal Activity thing, that's like there's just it was fun. It was fun. It was good. It was good use of one character. Caitlin Dever crushed it. I don't know. It was a really good time. But I have one question. Gigi, you have 17 questions.
I have 30.
I relinquished 29 of them. What happened to the bus driver?
Yeah, what happened?
What happened to the bus driver? Because was the bus driver one of the throat people, or
I mean, I guess they all
No,
were.
he was human because he stopped
he
the
saw
bus.
it, and so where's the bus driver? I don't know. I feel like we need his point of view here. I feel like he could have done something here. Where is
That's not even in my top 20. My biggest question
that?
is
Is the only one I need.
how did we see her reach down her throat and pull the little bug out of her throat, whereas it seemed like no other human had that option?
Right.
How did she, how was
She
she
built different, dog.
I know. And Dex, that's what we're supposed to take from this movie. She's built different than everybody.
R.I.P. to your daughter, but I'm built different.
oh shit, that's horrible. What is wrong with you?
Me, I wouldn't have been killed with a rock so easily.
Me,
to be
I
really
would
honest with
couldn't
you.
have been me.
12-year-old me would have put up more of a fight against that rock, but that's just me.
No other human within a 30-mile radius of her that could have pulled out the bug as well.
Everybody else was fucked up, and she just like, bug in my mouth? No, no more bug in my mouth. And I was like,
Psych.
oh, it's that easy, huh?
17.
Why?
facts.
No one else ever even thought about it. They were like, I guess this is
Yeah,
happening now.
I guess this is happening. I'm just gonna let it happen.
The movie I was thinking about is called Hush. It's written and directed by Mike Flanagan, who's done everything like
That's
all the stuff now. The Haunting of Bly Manor, Midnight Mass, Dr.
Mike
Sleep.
Flanagan's making money because those haunting shows are doing fucking gangbusters on Netflix.
Yeah. Anyway, the movie's called Hush.
that's the movie with the writer. Yeah, no, that's an old movie.
2016.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
that multiple times. That's what I was talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
Monique has seen
right.
every scary and every home invasion movie
I
literally
love home- I
that
don't know.
exists.
I love even the movie Home Invasion. There's a movie called Home Invasion,
Wonder what happens in that one.
and it is the most home invasion movie. There's nothing. There's zero fluff. Zero. No one will save you fluff. It is a home invasion, and that is the end of the movie.
Well, the one that did like in this vein, if you're telling like The Strangers is like
Oh.
all time.
That's classic.
That's
Yeah.
just bone chilling.
Yeah, it'll get you. This isn't that, but I just think that like this is not that. But but it does have the makings of like something is in the house, and that like all of that was incredible to watch, and it gets you on the edge of your seat, and I'm hooked every single time anything like that happens. Now, I will say that I love categorizing movies in would this have happened in the South? And I say no.
She would have had a gun.
We would have murdered those aliens.
All of them.
With hammers. Me and my friends would have beat E.T. with hammers.
And guns.
I thought about that tweet the whole time I was watching this film.
Me and my friends would have beat E.T. to death with hammers. I'm going to tell you that much.
I actually appreciate, Royden, when you were bringing up like, or I think it was both of y'all, like irritating by the dialogue. Because now that I'm thinking about it, if I'm sitting on set with that person, the directors and the team, I'm like, it's okay if she doesn't talk. That'll get the same effect. But imagine her going into town and people talking to her, and then she doesn't talk because she's such a recluse.
She's like stunned.
So shocked. She's so within a shell of herself. That works even a little bit.
That's better. That's
right?
better.
Think about that. Like that would have worked. But to y'all's point, like it's like you committed to a thing, and instead of honoring the fact that it might have not had to be that the whole time, you were like, nope, we've committed. So now
she's in town amongst the people, but she can't talk.
She can't
and
talk.
And then the one time that she does talk,
she's not talking on the way to the bus. I don't know. The bus driver, I really need to know what happened to him.
She talks towards the end.
Yeah, the one time she does talk, I'm like, why was that the one?
Yeah, why is this the time that she gets the same words?
Dang.
Yeah.
And why
like what she said,
because that would make been an end.
That would make sense if that was like what we were doing the whole time, but it's like they have her say the line, and then it's like
15 more minutes.
Well, she wasn't in the wrong. Like, what's up? Like, I don't know. Like, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? Can we just get into spoilers here? So we
absolutely.
Yeah, we can. Okay. Go ahead.
I'll carry it. Whatever you want to spoil.
Yeah. So she has the flashback where you kind of figure out what happened to the mod. The girl.
Also, is this in 1955 or
I can't tell what year it is.
She had a flat screen TV, bro.
Yeah. Yes. So flat screen TVs came out in 1960, 73? 1973. I looked it up because I was like, where's her cell phone, right? Tej, where's her cell phone? 1973 is when the first few cell phones became commercially available. I know that sounds way crazy. We all thought it was the 90s. That's when we got one. But actually, I got one in the 2000s. But yeah, flat screen TVs were like 1973-ish.
She didn't have a flat TV at all.
Sony, you know?
I couldn't tell what
she had a flat screen. And I was like, okay, cool. She has a cell phone, but then she had a landline, and I was like, wait a
rotary landline.
Yeah, she has a rotary phone and a flat screen TV. That doesn't make any sense.
And then like the cars when she was driving into town, I was like, that doesn't help me either. Like I don't know what year that is. Like,
I had no idea.
What kind of car? Why is she on a bike? Why? Yeah. But I've also seen like a lot of weird movies do a lot of weird like time period. Like it's an old town in the in 2008. But of course, not everything looks like New York in 2008. So this is a rural area that hasn't advanced as much. So I gave the environment some passes there.
Well, I mean, they give you a time period because she goes to her mother's gravestone. It's 2019. Her friend was killed in 2012. Like, we know when it is. It's just like, but why?
But yeah. So we know, but like everything doesn't fit there. I also hated the tombstone thing because I recognize that the only reason that tombstone scene was there is because we committed to not having dialogue and we wouldn't know her name. Yep. And this is where I go and tell everyone My experience with movies is very different. I watch subtitles on everything. I don't care what it is.
Same.
So
I would have known her name anyway.
I would have known her name anyways. So it was like, fine. Okay, Bryn, right? But for me, the captions were like creatures warbling, creature gurgling, creature chittering. And I was like, these are great words. Like I see what they were trying to do, and it sounded like that. It was really, really cool.
Yeah. I just don't know what we were doing with the whole mod thing. Like, is she trying to forgive herself for accidentally killing this kid? Like, why is everybody pissed at her for accidentally killing this kid? Like, your kid was an asshole. Like, I don't, you know, like I would have been said that. Like, my bad, but your kid had it coming a little bit.
Also, she's not in jail.
Not in. I mean, yeah. Like, what would she be in jail for? Self-defense. But
She was 12. They were 12 when it happened.
yeah.
I
I don't
It's
know
been
what
10
we
years,
were
so
doing
she's
there.
22.
And then like the aliens saw all this and they were like, you know what, you're all right, kid. You can go back. Like
I literally don't understand how the aliens
I'm not
cared
buying.
about that so much. I don't get it. I literally didn't get it.
No, it's all they know we don't have access to affordable mental health care in the United States, and so they're like, damn, bitch, you live like this. Let's
Really, truly. Because when he was in her house and he saw the picture that she was holding, he was like, damn, this ugly ass girl got you bent, you know?
Yeah, I can't believe that you're living with this trauma. Maybe like let's sit down on our couch for a minute.
let's just
Why
take
did
over
the
this
bug-
entire town
I
so
didn't
you can
understand
be happy.
When she took the bug out of her throat and then the bug ran away and then the bug became her doppelganger and then the doppelganger stabbed her, but then she stabs the doppelganger.
Then
That's when I was like, we
then that's
really
still-
don't know what we're doing at the end of this movie.
Yeah, I have no
Why-
idea what that was or
Why did we
was
have
happening.
Dying to yourself.
1B question. That's my 1B question.
that? And that wasn't even the end of the movie, by the way. She still got to get beamed up into the spaceship. They have to look at her memories, and then they have to send her back down so she can be in love with an alien with a human with a bug in his throat in a musical. I just don't know. Like the end of this movie makes no sense at all.
I
It
will
makes no
say
sense.
though, when she got caught in the tractor beam finally, that was one of those there's always those moments I feel like where somebody gets caught lacking like barely, you're just like, damn, they got your ass.
Got your
The
ass.
best part of the movie. Getting her on the ceiling, exorcist style.
That was fire.
And alien is, and we're watching that from the alien's perspective of looking at her and her perspective of looking at him upside down, red. It was so cool.
That was amazing.
That was such a great scene.
They finally caught her lacking.
Lord.
Caught her ass lacking and put the bug in her mouth. I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then the next scene, she was inside the house on the ceiling with the red tractor beam. She could not move, so the bug went into her mouth. And then the next scene, she was outside on the lawn and she was taking the bug out of her mouth. And that's when I was like, oh, I have no idea what's going on.
What it sound like is you a
No
hater
idea.
and you're not built like her. That's what it
You're
sound
not built like her.
Nobody was built like her. Everybody else was like, yeah, well, we're just alien slaves now. And she was just like,
doing this.
actually, if that were me, I would just remove the bug from my mouth. And then she was by herself.
That's exactly how it should. I would simply win this game. I would not lose.
Yeah, I mean, all you other hillbillies can go to hell. I'm gonna beat this whole thing, only to get stabbed in the forest by your doppelganger. Like, yeah, I'm just like, she died also 18 times in this movie.
I was gonna say, how did she survive the stabbing to the stomach? Let's go. 2.
Got her get back, bro. You know, she built different.
Clearly.
Keep that thing on me. Got my box cutter with me.
I also really like that the little small version of the alien did not have like the kinetic, like the telekinetic powers to like pull her, so that he was just trying to bludgeon her, just trying to grab her and scratch her. That really worked for me, because the first alien, like, oh, this alien could like literally just pull her. He's got real powers, and then the little alien was just like, fuck you, bitch, I'm just gonna chase you in this house. That really worked for me.
The sitting there to T-pose. What do we think about like the thing sitting there to like T-pose for a minute? Like,
I still don't understand why he was doing
what happened.
The big one was like the weird arm shit that was like voguing. Like, I was like, what's
Bogey.
going on? What's happening?
The little one
Going
just
down
sat
the
there in the
runway.
T-pose for like 10 seconds, and then all of a sudden started climbing on the walls like a monkey. I was like, "Oh, why didn't you do that before?"
That was terrifying. I can relate.
It was horrifying.
Sometimes in the middle of a fight, you want to be like, you know what? Go ahead, run, bitch.
The have you heard you've seen the TikTok of "Here Come the Hurricane, bitch," and then the runway models like falling down.
Yeah.
That's like what I kept thinking of. But no, and then she hits him with boiling water like 5 times in a row, and
She cooked that, bro. She hit him with every pot.
I don't think
Why she had all these pots boiling at the same time, I don't know. But
She did it because she was
ready to
alien.
kill them. Yeah.
She was prepping it. It was like Home
Again.
Alone. Home Alone, he preps the house before the invasion.
again,
But
just
why did she use all 4 on one alien? I don't understand.
Yeah, because that
That
nigga
was
kept
not
getting back up, so she had to keep doing it. He was resilient.
yeah, he's like Marvin Harry from Home Alone. He just kept like falling down the stairs, but it didn't matter. Superhuman, getting hit by bricks. No,
And
I
then
just
how did that one die again? Did he get beamed up too?
no, he
No,
got like
stabbed
impaled on like
room
the
height.
shelf.
Cupboard or something.
She stabbed him through the shelf, and then she hit his head with the shelf, which was amazing.
yeah.
She gave him CTE. He was done. She turned that man into Antonio Brown.
Yo, that's crazy.
Oh my god. No, I just and then the big alien falling off the house as a comedic beat
That was amazing.
is like it doesn't know its limbs basically. But yeah,
When he got trapped in that car, and then he heard the lighter flick, and he kind of realized what was happening and tried to get out of the car. The stuff they did with the aliens is genuinely some of the most fun shit that I've seen on my home movie screen this year. Like they really bodied that, but that's only 35 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, it's also really strange, or not strange. Maybe it's an interesting choice. Like we all kind of have an idea, like in the populace of what like the Area 51 alien looks like, or whatever, the little green men or whatever, and they just made the alien that, and not something like super. I mean, there was a couple of things like there were different sizes, and obviously the one that Dex said was voguing. They had like different sized limbs, and then they could stand up on their
Finger toes.
their weird toes. But like it basically looked like a mock-up of like if you asked a kid to draw an alien, what an alien looked like.
I know he was pissed when he saw those Mexican aliens get revealed a week or 2 before his movie came out. I know he was pissed. They looked just like that little Mexican alien. They looked exactly alike.
Yeah, this one, there's so much that I loved about this movie, and they just threw it all away by like
Because the first 25 minutes were great.
just not making no fucking sense.
I will say though that the 17 endings of this movie were, at least from a screenwriter's perspective, meant to tie in everything you saw in the first 25 minutes. So now we understand how Maud got killed. We understand where the mailman came from and why she was always excited, and now we get that she's terrified of him. Cool. We get the understanding of why she went to the tombstone. Cool. We get the understanding of like her being an outcast, and now she wants love. What outcast doesn't want love if you're stuck in this big, house? So like all of the endings gave you something. Oh, why was she, does she miss her mother? How did she get this big ass house? She looks kind of young. Oh, it's probably her mom's house. And where are her parents? Like that kind of thing. Like all 17 endings did tie back to, okay, here's how we got here and here's why we're here. But I just
except
feel
for the last one.
Yeah, to me, the last one is unfortunately a pillar of what we watch. In this context, I don't love it because that was forced. But every movie's a romance movie. Unfortunately, I
found an alien bae to love.
I told you guys.
Alien bae to love. That's crazy.
I don't know what to tell you guys. Writers can't do anything without a little bit of romance. But we had multiple opportunities to put that in there before. I don't know why we ended with that.
Yeah,
how come that alien at the end could dance, but the aliens that we saw before that were inhabited by humans couldn't do anything but like bend themselves and try to attack humans? Like, why
Question.
would she?
Question.
Why?
If I can pull my own bug out of my throat, couldn't I do that for you too?
Facts. If that seems totally natural.
But she doesn't want to. She wants to be Delulu. All right. She wants to.
I could technically do that for you or show you how to do it.
I want to live in this world where people like me. No one remembers that I killed a kid.
So is that what it is? Because just to break down, like to spoil the ending, they help her trauma dump in the spaceship. Obviously, you see what happens with her and her friend. She comes to some acceptance of it with her former self, the 12-year-old her, and then she wakes up and she's in sort of the utopian version of what she believes I imagine what she wants her town to be. She obviously gets in a relationship with her neighbor down the street who she waves at in the beginning of the movie. They sort of dance into the sunset in this pristine Norman Rockwell-esque Americana setting in the middle of their town where they have this huge festival or something. But then it pans up
at her new house. Yeah.
Was it at her new house?
I thought it was a new house where she lives with people.
No, it was at her. We walked out and there was 3 scene changes, environment changes were hard to follow. And then we pan up to the sky with the UFOs.
Yeah, and then the UFOs are still there. The UFOs speed off
But they've seen her grief, so she's good.
Yeah, so like, what's the point? Is it like, was she
the only grieving person in her town? But that doesn't make any sense.
Right?
She's the only person with any grief. She's the only person with any kind of
her parents get the same treatment? Her parents are obviously still grieving because they're spitting on people. So, like, why didn't they get the same Delulu treatment? I don't get it.
Why can't everybody be Delulu and happy? Just her.
I don't
Maybe
know.
They were like, you know what, kid, you aight. Like you cook a couple of us. Game respect game. Like
that's what I think.
Really, what it was.
Yeah. Because really, this is just a murder apologist movie. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you cook 3 of mine in less than like 15 minutes, then I gotta respect you. You know what? You can stay here and do what you gotta do.
You know when like people give props to LeBron James after like something, and they're just like, yeah, he's just the GOAT. Is that what they did?
Yeah, they're just like, well, she's just her. She just
like
she killed 3 aliens. Nobody else killed no aliens. She killed her best friend. She just her. She's just John Wick. So we just don't respect her.
Down 20 in the finals, dapping up all the Warriors.
Yeah, exactly. Like
where they're like, you know what? Like we won, but like you did your thing, G.
You should have Finals MVP to be clear.
Yeah. You were the Finals MVP, but then we took over your town. You were the real MVP.
She literally evades death constantly.
Yeah,
that movie. I feel like I'm enjoying it more and more. Like as we're talking about it,
look,
even
it's
if
a genre.
It doesn't make sense. I'm like, that was kind of fun.
Yeah,
her friend went out sad. I mean, you can get a concussion from a rock, but why are you dead? Like, come on, ma'am. Come on, bro.
I may be a
ma'am.
You're dead.
That wasn't even that big of a rock.
I'm absolutely sicko. Give me something more dramatic and horrific.
I thought it was going to be like a car crash.
You know what I mean? Like, I need something that, like, really a rock, man.
It's the Cain and Abel story.
She hit her one time with a rock, and that girl was dead. Come on, bro.
The way she like just her body just bent back was so fucking funny. I was
like, all right.
That's that PG-13 shit right there. In like a rated R movie, her head is just completely off her body.
It wasn't giving for me.
They hereditary her, yeah.
Yeah, PG-13 movie. They're just like, just do the Matrix real quick.
That's really what it is, Jordan. I've seen an Ari Aster movie too many times.
Right.
Why are we not walking off cliffs to our death? What are we doing?
I've never seen an Ari Aster movie too many times. Not me.
Oh, did you see the director's cut was coming back to theaters soon?
Yes. I said this to Monique. I said, Monique, are we going to see Midsommar? Because I will be there. I will be seated. I will be seated.
There's more. There's shit he didn't get to put.
There's like a 4-hour cut.
I'm also going to the 4-hour cut of Beau is Afraid in 2027 when they put it out or whatever happens.
That's not
I will be there.
That
I will be there.
I'm gonna be there. Okay, Beau is Afraid also had 35 endings, but they were each
True.
great endings.
No, they weren't.
Monique, these people tried to tell me that Beau was Afraid was not real cinema. These
That
people
movie
tried to tell me
sucks.
this.
Y'all
I
tripped.
hated that movie.
Are you kidding me? You gotta watch it again. You gotta watch it again.
I
had a
will
great
not be
time.
doing that.
Dex, I will explain
had
the
a
entire
time.
movie to you. We need
I
to read
barely-
Beau is Afraid.
I barely got
Director's
through
cut
it the
on one
first
TikTok.
time. That was the closest I've ever been to just straight up walking out of a movie theater
No.
before the movie was over.
That's
I know that Always Be My Baby made you feel something in that movie theater when that shit dropped. I
It
know
made
it
me
did.
feel repulsed. I was like, why would
Sickened.
Mariah Carey
Why
allow
would
this?
Mariah agree to this?
Ari
She
Aster
was,
was
like,
a sicko, bro.
promoting the
She had to
movie.
sit through that entire film
I-
just for one joke.
Oh my
That was-
god!
okay, but that one joke for
Might
me,
have been the funniest thing I've seen in the movie theater this year. I was
I
dying.
mean, I had a great time.
I was
But
just
yeah,
watching
like-
that movie the
like
whole time. Like, why is this happening to me? Like, what's going
Yeah.
on?
What choices have led me here?
If No One Will Save You is rated R, we have a little
No,
bit
PG-13.
different. No, I said if.
If
Oh,
If
God.
it was rated R, we get something a little bit more different. I'm telling you guys, what does the director's cut of this movie look like? I'm telling you, we watched the director's cut. This is what it is.
well, it's only an hour.
I
and a half,
guarantee there's
so
not
yeah,
another
I don't
ending.
know.
I'm telling you
there
it
can't be. There can't be
Yeah.
another ending out there. We saw all
Honestly,
of it.
yeah, I don't know what else he would
Did
have
he
put
add
in
something
here.
to the beginning? Because there's no more endings. He thought of every ending.
Maybe the director's cut has dialogue in it. He just cut all the dialogue on the movie.
Some producer got their
How
hands
do
on
you
this. Was
feel?
like, speaking, absolutely not. Ew.
Yeah, now that the writers are off strike, we can
Loved your movie.
get a different
Watch
version
it
of this
again.
movie.
I want the director's cut. I know you don't have it because we watched the director's cut.
Somebody needs to go give that director a lot of money and have him make a different Alien movie, because that shit was, when he had the aliens on screen, he was
Man.
operating at a very high efficiency. I was extremely impressed.
I'm telling you,
extremely impressed.
The scenes, the cinematography was crazy. The editing was crazy. It was so good. Give me a rated R Brian Duffield. No One Will Save You Again Ever. And there you go.
No one will save you again.
No one
Love
will
it.
ever say.
No one will ever save you from
I'm in.
technology and grief.
You
Add
were
a couple of lines of dialogue. I'm in, because there were more words said in Coda and John Wick than were said in this movie, which is actually insane. I didn't think you could make a movie with less dialogue than those
Those are
two.
two of the same films, actually.
Very similar movies. People
Yeah.
have often said this.
Yeah. Coda, you know what you just did there. Oh my god.
Shout out to
Um,
Coda. I haven't watched that in a long time. We need to
So
go back to
good. I
that.
like
There's
it.
no need to go
I
back
re-
to Coda. It's
I-
fine.
I
mean,
enjoy
we're talking
Coda,
about
but
this
are we talking about a let's all be nice to each other, our best picture winner? Jesus, like that,
Hey, there are worse Best
Brian,
Picture winners,
you
to
have
be
a
fair.
problem with therapy and trauma. You have a problem with let's all be nice to each other. What's going on?
What do you want, Royden?
Royden, what do you want, man?
to drink a lot and then punch a picture of my family.
Okay, I know just the movie for you.
Yeah.
It's called Babylon. Watch it.
I was gonna say it's called
Oh.
Fast X.
It's called Marriage Story.
It's called Fast X.
Watch,
Marriage Story. Oof.
watch any Adam Driver.
I'm not saying like I actually like
the Adam
Coda.
Driver movie works.
I liked Coda. I'm just saying it is what it is when you go and you look at it and you're like, would this have won ever?
I looked at it and I was like, "Is this better than Power of the Dog?" Yes.
You know what? Okay, fair.
That's true. Much better. Is this better than Green Book? Yes.
You know I love my Benedict Cumberbatch. I tell you what.
So we've been wrapping these up with our own little what we watch. What are you watching, Mo? And what?
Yeah.
we
What
watch?
does Mo watch? What have you
Oh
been
my God,
watching?
This is the third podcast I've been on where y'all are ending your movies like this. Look at what we watch, or ending your shows like this.
What are you watching?
What are we currently watching? I am currently watching Castlevania Nocturne.
Hmm.
I'm currently rewatching
Wait, like the video game? Like
It's
No.
a Netflix show.
the
is
Netflix
it
show.
TV
that
show?
came
Is it
out
like
by my-
based on the video game or is it?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's yes, it's great. It's perfect. I've only seen one episode. About to start Gen V because that came out, and I'm
Ooh.
rewatching Swarm
Wait, Gen V's already out?
on tomorrow, Friday.
I need to watch that. I'm on. I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm
Gen
totally in.
V. Come on, I'm in. Right. I need another season of The Boys, and then Yeah, we're talking TV, right? I'm not watching.
I mean,
movies.
Or movies.
What movies am I watching multiple times? I mean,
Or what do you got coming up?
What do I have coming up? Dumb Money, The Creator, Expendables, because I'm a huge 50 Cent fan.
Oh, that got shat on in reviews. It has like a.
I don't care
20.
what y'all talking about. Y'all don't have the eye like I do, reviewers.
All the Expendables movies got shat on, but they're fun.
Did y'all all watch Equalizer 3?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's the beginning and end of that conversation. Okay, great. I love Denzel Washington.
Same.
Don't
what
we
are y'all
all?
watching? Dex and Royden?
I just watched an early screening of The Creator as we, right before we got on. I don't want to spoil it here. I gave a quick review on Twitter.
That's probably our next episode, so don't say too much.
Yeah, the last hour of the movie fucking goes. It's unbelievable. I'm not going to spoil too much, but it is other sci-fi that you've seen, but it doesn't matter. I think it's really good.
Okay.
And it's what you go to movies for, to be completely honest with you. So that's that. And Caitlin finished what's the movie or the show where they propose to each other or don't propose? The Ultimatum.
The Ultimatum.
So yeah, she finished that. That was riveting television.
But by she finished that, you mean y'all finished that?
Yeah, I
Yes,
was on
okay,
my phone
got it.
while it was in the
Got it.
background. Yeah.
The Ultimatum was the perfect show to watch on your phone. It's like you'll get the gist. You just hear the dialogue and you'll get the gist.
Just hear them yelling at each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did that. You know what's funny is I turned on really quick because it's like the most popular show in the world now because there's 100 episodes of it and they just threw it on the front page of Netflix. Suits.
Suits had a resurgence.
People love Suits.
Yeah,
Suits is
it has
great.
like an 8.3 on IMDb. And I was like, you know what? I have never watched one episode of this show, and I'm not above a shitball USA Today show, or not USA Today, USA show like Burn Notice or whatever it is.
Are you kidding me? Those shows are great.
Is
Story.
Suits good?
Huge psych fan. No, but I was entertained for like.
Got it.
Perfect. It's a perfect show. So is Burn Notice. Both phenomenal shows. Great.
Yeah,
too.
and then there was a Netflix movie that came out literally like this week called let's see, it's a terrible title, but it's called Love at First Sight, and that sounds like a Netflix reality show, but
That is a Netflix reality show.
It is a Netflix reality show.
Yes.
Is it really?
I think so.
Oh.
Or somebody's reality show.
There's
Somebody's got a reality
Marriage
show
at
like that.
First Sight.
Marriage at First Sight. MAFS. Yes.
Yeah. So there is it's called Love at First Sight. It's a romance movie, kind of a rom-com, but it's actually really serviceable and really good. I would check it out. I mean, you love romance movies, Mo. So like, it was genuinely just kind of took my breath away at points, but I thought it was really good. Haley Lou Richardson from what do you call it? White Lotus she's really good.
Oh, I'm in. Wait, did you just say it took your breath away? Look at you being.
No, I'm a romantic at heart, but I'm just saying like there's a couple of scenes where I'm like, oh, like I was really moved by stuff like that. So
And
yeah,
yes, I do love romance movies because every movie is a romance movie, including No One Will Save You.
Sure, absolutely.
You saw the ending.
I saw all of them. Dex, go ahead.
Yeah, honestly, not too much on the movie and TV front recently. I'm seeing The Creator tomorrow. Gonna write a review on that. Getting back to doing that. Mostly been watching sports as of late. Go Dynamo. We just won the U.S. Open Cup. So look at
Did
us.
we win? Oh,
We
sweet.
won. We
Awesome.
out here.
We beat Messi.
City of Champions, baby. Messi didn't play, but
Oh, damn.
still, we take those.
What? That bum.
Yeah, he is a bum. He's fatigued.
I too am fatigued.
I mean, he is Teja's age out there running around. So that's
Please stop. Please.
Cooked product, they've been saying. But
Please. I've been watching. I finished Special Ops Lioness this week. Incredible. I had a great time. It makes me want to go back and watch all the other Taylor Sheridan shows that y'all have been watching. The All Being America that I have not been watching.
Middle America. Yeah, all of Middle America.
I'm gonna be Yellowstone Hive here pretty soon because I had a great time with Special Ops Lioness. Zoe Saldana did a phenomenal acting job, and I don't think I've ever said that sentence before in my life. No disrespect to her. I had a great time.
Is that the apology we're hearing from all the tweets?
That's an apology from Zoe Saldana. It's really her. She crushed it. I had a great time. I hope they make a season 2. I had a lot of fun with it. I feel
like it's too late for Zoe Saldana to be really her. I feel like we would have known.
That's true. She can't hear me over the money. So.
She's her. Hey, she's her at the fucking bank. I tell you that much.
Definitely her at the bank.
Okay.
Also Nicole Kidman. Also Morgan Freeman. Great cast. Great writing. I had a great time with it. I also ran back just last night. The Dark Knight. Newsflash: that movie still fucking bangs. I still
What
had
a
great time.
film!
It's just good. It's just perfect.
Breaking news: dude on podcast says Dark Knight is good.
Little known effort from a little known director.
Yes, so much better than I don't know if you guys have seen it. Probably, I think everyone did, but no one did. Oppenheimer, much better than Oppenheimer. Not better than Tenet. That's my hot take for the day.
It's better than.
There's so many opinions.
Better than Tenet, and it's probably not better than Oppenheimer, but also it is better than. I don't know. That's hard. Oppenheimer is really good. Anyway,
I need to watch Oppenheimer again before I say that.
I've seen it 3 times. I'm also seeing Django Unchained in 35 millimeter on Friday at Quentin Tarantino's theater. I'm extremely excited about that.
Wait.
Very excited. Mo's coming with me. I'm very excited. I'm also seeing The Creator on Monday, and I watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High the other day. Hey, that movie's not good. It's just not a good film. It does nothing for me. I'm sorry. I think this is my second or maybe third time watching it. It's not that funny. It's cool to see all the famous people in it that like are really young. It's cool to see Sean Penn being a young stoner guy, but overall the movie's not very good. I don't enjoy it that much. I think that's all I've been watching.
I have a question. I haven't gotten to talk about Winning Time, but I loved Winning Time. And
I finished Winning Time too. Amazing.
Has anyone revisited Blindside since all the shit came out?
We wanted to as a bit, and we just never did.
Yeah, we were going to. We never did.
A comedy movie? Like, would I actually have to laugh now? Like, when I watch that movie? I don't know.
I'm not going to lie to you. I understand that The Blind Side is an entire work of fiction, but
I think it's great.
I fucking loved that movie.
Obviously, it fits so much better in the time that it came out, but I really just want to revisit it now. It's like with this brain and see how I feel.
It's probably super nasty now. Your current brain would hate that shit. I think.
Just being like, damn, they lying
the entire time, like they not.
But Sandra Bullock is just good. Like she's just
Sandra Bullock.
She's just
I
good.
just love Sandra Bullock. Sorry.
Sandra really should be getting a little bit of Zoe's bag, a little bit more of Zoe's bag, honestly. She
got Bird Box. I mean, everybody in America watched that movie.
All right, that's not the bad.
Remember when they lied and said like 2 billion people watched Bird Box?
They said some astronomical crazy
I've
numbers.
never heard anything about it since.
No.
Wait, no, there's a movie called Bird Box Barcelona.
Yeah. But like,
is that?
I hate the alliteration.
Bird
it hasn't come out yet.
It was no, it's out.
That's the sequel. Oh, it's out.
Yeah,
I haven't heard anybody who's seen this movie. By the way,
me neither.
If Monique hasn't seen it and Dex hasn't seen it, nobody has seen this film.
Correct.
No.
Bird Box was the hottest shit in the street for like a week and a half, and then I never heard about it ever again. Like it was nuts. I don't know how Netflix does that.
But that's how shit works. Yeah. Everything comes and goes.
Well, they farted out another thing, and they were just like, "Who insert star into this movie, and then we'll do it again." So yeah,
Netflix is going to have a very good end of the year. From the trailers I've been seeing, I think Netflix is going to give us some heat on the movie side going into the fourth quarter.
They bought a lot of stuff.
They bought a lot of stuff. They were prepared for the writer strike and however long it was going to last, and I think that I think they got some good shit over there at Netflix towards the end of the year. I'm excited to see what they give us. Probably nothing Oscar worthy.
Apple TV still going to run up the score at the Oscars, baby.
That's
Killers
true.
of the Flower Moon.
That's true. Killers of the Flower Moon is about to go crazy, bro. It's about to go so crazy.
And those Netflix CEOs have to be screaming into the fucking void, like, "What do we have to do?" Like, you know. Like...
And it looked like they finally had it, and then Coda came out of nowhere. Just you love to see
nice to each other.
Your
reviews.
No, I just think that you're gonna like just some actually industry stuff. Like you're gonna see a lot of prestige, if you will, I guess, or even bigger character dramas go to Netflix because they bought a lot of stuff out of Telluride,
festivals,
the Venice Film Festival and stuff like that, where these other major studios couldn't participate in that. For some reason or another, they could, and they went ahead and purchased all of it, and they don't have to. Their machine is such that they don't have to have actors and directors like promote their stuff really. So you're going to see a lot of these like character driven pieces come to Netflix, which more people I guess
not
will watch
going to
them,
win
but
Best Picture. They're still not going to win.
That's
Best
what we
Picture.
need.
It's not gonna
Still
happen.
won't.
It sucks
Still
when
not
you can
gonna
only
happen.
see a movie if you went to the film festival. It sucks. You got to wait
Yeah.
and see it, figure out.
Facts.
So you can watch it.
Facts.
all right. So that has been a One Take Podcast. You can find us at One Take Podcast, One Take Podcast on Twitter, One Take Podcast on Instagram and TikTok and everywhere else. You can email us at one take podcast show at gmail.com. I haven't checked that in like the last quarter, but that's
Don't
fine.
send us emails. Don't do that. Just send us tweets.
Mo, where can they find what you're doing?
Hi, yes. Whatwewatch.net for the one-stop shop, everything, Twitter Spaces, X Spaces, YouTube videos, podcasts just like this.
Don't call it X. We're rebelling against the name X.
Oh, really? Okay. I
Yeah,
didn't
Yeah.
quick
Yeah.
sidebar: when somebody sends you a video link in like a text message and it's broken and it just says x.com/videos,
Yes.
that is like really treacherous.
It's hilarious.
It's like X video. Like what?
This is
And
not
then
the
you
type
click
of
it and it's
relationship we have, sir. What's going
yeah.
on
Then you
here?
click it and it's just like two dogs
meme.
swimming or something like whatever. But it's just like
It's a
really
Jimmy
the
Butler
hyperlink is x.video, and you're just like whoa.
Right. I
Anyway.
will say continue to support the actors as they continue to strike, hire Black writers, and thank you so much. Find me at whatwewatch.net and www.filmtv on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you.
All right. I can't wait for y'all to enjoy a casual racism at the 35 millimeter showing of
We're gonna
Django
have a great
Unchained.
time. We are gonna have a fucking time.
All I hear is criticize, criticize, criticize.
When I tell you that my best friend knows when I'm in a bad mood, just send me that video. I will cry laughing. I'm about to cry right now. It's so ridiculous. I was on the floor. That is disgusting to fall onto the floor of a theater. I was on the floor. I can't wait to
Never heard. I genuinely have never heard a theater.
15-minute scene. What?
I've never heard a theater laugh harder. Like
It-
like people couldn't breathe. Like they couldn't
couldn't
get
breathe.
breath in.
I fell out of my chair.
And it's tough to say that about a KKK rally in a movie, but like
It's so funny.
That's what made it. That's why I said a racism is sometimes funny, unfortunately.
there's a big
The way they're
thread
doing
going around.
Robert Rules
Racism
of
is
Order,
never funny except when it is.
except when it is.
Sometimes racism is funny. I will say though, TMNT had me laugh a lot.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
that's on.
I laughed a
Paramount.
disordered amount. I did not think TMNT was going to
I
make me laugh that
died
much.
laughing at the New York scene. So the New York.
All right, you can find us again, One Take Pod on all platforms. Dex, what are you doing?
Hashtag support Florence Pugh. We out here.
All right, we're out.